Witch of Moon's Lane presents...
How to Witch, bitch.
Welcome back to How to Witch, bitch. Michelle, the Witch of Moon's Lane. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, darling. How are you?
Good, thank you. Just going through some of the comments that we've had on some of our episodes, and we do love a comment.
We do.
Oh, we love a rating. We love a 5-star review.
Yes, anything less and there'll be magic coming back.
She is joking. I think.
Am I?
I don't know. No, the episode we did about parking angels.
Yeah.
So we've got a message from Breeby saying, my auntie says, please may a park appear where there wasn't one before. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tracy, also parking ferries, where are you? And I always say to my kids, blow out the red lights. That's cute, actually.
That's really cute.
That's really cute.
It's better than Spotto.
Exactly. And all corners in the car where they just crush each other. Cynthia says she does it as well. Kel says she does this as well. And I've done it. I do it now more so.
Yeah.
Where you go, okay, parking angels. And it doesn't matter what you say, I don't think. I think it's just a bit of fun.
Yeah. No, it's more about when you're getting there, you just imagine the fact that, hey, I'm just going to easily find a park, and you just say, parking angels, find me a park, that's it.
Yep.
And just go in, and you go in without any doubt that you're not going to find one. And it just always, as soon as you go up, there's one coming out and you go straight in.
It also calms you down.
Yeah.
Because particularly like around Christmas time and stuff like that, that's not the time that,
No, I'd love
you
to
need your
avoid.
parking angels then.
Oh, definitely.
Now, other things we touched on in one of our last episodes as well was spell jars.
Ooh, yep.
Now, I can only assume a spell is a jar with a jar, and a jar's got the spell in it. Is that it?
Yep.
Great.
Or you can have witches' balls, which are basically
Pardon me?
like, you know how you hang the balls on your Christmas tree? This is
Baubles.
originally where it comes with baubles.
Okay.
But they used to be clear. And so in there you would actually put seedlings for the next year. So
Right.
Because you're coming out of winter on the other side.
Okay.
So that it would then have the spring seed. So you'd have seeds for the spring to plant. And then all different herbs would also bring in abundance or love or whatever it is you're looking for.
Okay.
So I know we often talk about rosemary as the universal herb for that. So if you wanted to do a jar, I'm always great at, I feel that you put the jar at the front or you hang the ball at the front. So either way,
Front of where?
Of the front of your door.
Okay.
So what you're doing is you're attracting wealth into the home.
Mm-hmm.
So basil is known to bring in wealth and prosperity, so you can put that into your jar. Cinnamon's always a good one for bringing in good fortune. It also brings in fire energy as well, so that's also another one for passion. Mint, as we were speaking about before, is really good for financial success and clarity. Bay leaves is good for manifesting your wishes, and it's really good if you just want to do a quick spell, just to write it on a bay leaf and burn it.
Oh, wow.
Chamomile is good for drawing properties of luck.
Mm-hmm.
Cloves are very good for abundance and luck flowing towards you. Thyme is good for money. Ginger also adds the skills of promoting yourself. So if you're wanting to promote yourself through, a job position or
Instagram,
definitely smother yourself in ginger.
Especially all these influencers now eating ginger.
And also putting coins in. So coins is another good one.
Yeah.
Other witches do bury it. They'll do a little jar and they'll then put coins in, and they'll put other sort of different herbs in, and then they'll bury it at the front door. Or you can just put it on inside your front door to attract wealth in. Either.
So I'd put it down with all good intention and then forget where it was and look for my coins.
And you could also, on the bay leaf, you could be writing down what you want to bring to the home. So you can even put your home number in, and the address. So bring wealth to this home. So you're bringing it in the front door. So it's a bit more like feng shui as well.
Thinking about old school gardens, and I'm talking like when our grandparents were around, thinking about those, and I don't think people do it so much anymore, but they used to always have rosemary.
Yeah.
They'd have basil.
Yeah.
And they'd have usually thyme.
Yeah.
And those kind of, and there'd be abundance of it, on the side of the. I remember my grandparents, my aunt, they all had these massive big bushes of those plants.
Yeah. So that's sort
So
of
not only
pagan
was
roots.
it good for cooking, but it's actually,
good for other things as
Yeah.
well. And so these are herbs that have been used through the centuries for those particular things. So, my grandfather was the same.
Yeah.
Grew up in New Zealand, and he just had, walked out to the backyard, and the whole backyard was just awash with herbs and
lavender and all that kind
and
of
all
stuff.
that sort of stuff as well. And he had a big plum tree that I used to climb up and take the plums and throw them at my. Anyway,
Of course you would. Nothing less than that for you, because you started off as a witch from the very, very beginning. Back to the witch's balls because
Yep.
it's just interesting. When you're talking about because we have spoken about in the past as well how many things that we think are Christmas, Easter, those kind of things, traditions, that they have got a beginning in witchcraft.
Yep.
So the witch's balls would be hung on the tree, and that's kind of to. Did you mean they were hoping that that's what the next crop would bring?
Yeah, so they'd put the seeds that they wanted to plant for the next crop. So then that would be up on the tree. So we would be celebrating. So they would actually give one another gifts. And usually the gifts were their seedlings of the crops that actually were the year before.
No, sorry.
But that's what it is. But you think about it back there, if you don't eat or you don't have a great crop and you've just gone through a winter that's snowing and, you're hoping that, you're stuck in the middle of nowhere, you can't just zip down to Coles. Hey!
No. And I guess
and steal all the toilet paper.
All the goodness of so someone had an amazing lavender crop or an amazing something crop.
Yeah.
And then
So
they
give
gift it to
seedlings
someone
that
so they can
give-
actually do it as well.
That's right. So that's where it all came from. And they'd have it in these witches' balls that they would hang on the tree. So that's kind of like
Every time you say it, it just sounds ridiculous.
I know.
But anyway.
But why do the balls? Why do we put balls on trees? Why is it balls? Why isn't it like dogs, or why isn't it something? I'm about to get my dog and start hanging him on the tree.
Alsatians on the tree. Oh, there's a pug. I don't know. I've never actually thought of why there are baubles in a Christmas tree.
No.
But now that makes complete sense. Scary when you make sense. Now, if you were to do, say, for example, a spell jar, now you can do certain spell jars for certain things. So, and you said you have to bury them or you don't have to bury them?
No, it's basically you put it at your front door.
Yep.
So you can put it at the front door and so you're bringing the wealth in, or you can put it just behind the front door or you can bury it in the front.
Okay, so say if someone wanted to bring more money into their house, which seems to be a regular thing for many people, the spell jar with mint in it, what else would be in there?
So that the herbs that I sort of went through before.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you can actually put crystals in there as well. So you can put green aventurine in there. You can put in jade, which is also another really good crystal with it. But I actually make spell jars that you can put at your front house as well if you don't want to do it.
Do
and
you
I
have
have
to
anesthete
activate
in
them
that.
or something? Or
Yeah, well, that's what I
yeah.
do. So everything I have, because I'm making things all throughout the month, I can't really sort of put everything under the full moon. So what I do is I put all the ingredients. So each month I buy ingredients and then I put that in the circle. And so everything that I do is through the full moon. So I always activate it. So then they'll come with a spell on the back of the spell jars or your money candles. And you say, the money come to thee, money in all forms now see me, bring me protection. So mote it be, come now, blessed be. So that's what's on the back of everything. That basically just attracts a spell to you. You say it, you either light it if it's in a candle form, or you have it where you just either that you bury it, you put it at the front, or you put it just inside your door. So it's like feng shui too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're bringing that energy in. So as soon as you open the door.
The spell that you just said then, does it have to be word for word for that, or can you actually create your own spell?
You can create your own spell.
Yep.
That's not a problem. But, I mean, it's just that's already on there. And because it's so easy, I have a lot of clients that just say it. It just rolls off the tongue. Yeah, they know it. They just say it wherever they're going. So, yeah, there's all that types of things. You can do the same with spell jars. You can do for protection. You can do for love. You can do for clarity. You can do for hexing.
Oh, okay.
So that's another sort of thing that you can do.
How would that work?
Well, that's another thing that you would bury at your front yard, but that's sort of involving more urine and nails and all sorts of things. I said, how dark do you want to go?
Well, we can go dark. What do you mean?
I mean,
Okay,
I can just see people going, "Ooh, that's a little bit too much." But it's kind of like this is going back to the dog.
Okay.
What do dogs do?
They wee on everything and poo
And
in
they
the
say
house.
mine.
Oh, yes, they do.
So their scent is that's what they're claiming.
Oh, they
is-
wee on stuff because it's theirs.
Right.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. So if you're wanting to protect your land, it's. Hey, look, listen, I didn't do this. This is going back years.
This is just weird.
You just
thinking that
see,
you're
I just
copping
watched
a
Michelle.
squat
She's out there
the front, yeah.
copping a squat
In
out
the
the
full
front.
moon.
Don't worry, I'm protecting mine. Don't worry, Maury, I'm not going to come pee on you. Mine.
Wow, that escalated quickly. When I feel unwell. All right. So you could do a hex jar if you wanted to, as in a protection jar. And bury it at the
Well,
front.
there's protection jars and there's hex jars.
What's the difference?
Well, basically the hex jars is protecting, but it's also sending back to anybody.
Okay.
The protection jar is just protecting your property. So
the hex jar would be similar to the ice cubes that we've talked about before.
Yeah,
freezing someone out of your life, putting them in there.
Yeah, but you're also you've got the nails in there for sending back. You've got
your nails. Or,
no.
Not fingernails.
No.
Oh, nails. Oh, okay, right. I'm thinking if you're weeing in there, you may as well clip your nails while you're there.
No.
Oh, okay.
But we can definitely talk about that if people are interested in that.
What? Shopping in that? Oh, hex jars. Oh, I thought you were going to, I thought it was all of a sudden.
Oh, my God. But that's where we go with the graveyard dirt and all that sort of stuff when
Okay.
you're going into the hexes and things like that.
I thought we were going to like beauticians or something.
Okay, well, that's always fun.
And
I
readings
don't
at the same
know.
time.
They look pretty nice. What do you think?
She's holding her nails up, which I don't even know how she wipes her bum, but anyway, that's okay. Also, something else we wanted to mention.
I have bum washers.
Oh, my Lord. I'm so sorry, everybody. I really hope you stick with us for another episode.
You brought it up.
You started.
I mean, you just keep going there.
No, you do.
Oh,
You
my
wee
God.
Wee in a bottle. Something else we would like to encourage as well is if there's a reading that you would like to have.
Yeah, this
You
will be
can
fun.
contact us through the podcast and through the comments. And if there's something that maybe you would like to, if you're open to having a reading in one of our podcasts,
That'd be great.
That would be very, very cool.
Yeah.
So when it comes to reading, and we do them on the radio show as well, but it's always interesting that people always call up and go, what do you see for me? Which is a very open question.
Open-ended question.
How do you start a reading, or what do you want from your client or the person that you're reading? What's the best way for them to start a reading or ask you about the situation that they're in, if to be most specific and also make it the easiest for you to answer questions?
So when we're doing the radio, it's very much about they asking a question, and really the best way to ask a question is to say, is this going to happen? Is that not going to happen? Is what do you see in my future for this? Rather than make it so because so broad because we've only got like a couple of minutes, and it's like your life is a full life, and I'm just going to get what first comes in. But if you're doing a proper reading with me, we do. Come in there, sit down, and we do what is your past? What is possibly stopping or blocking you from your past to get the life that you want? Then we'll do what does your guides want to talk to you, if anyone's in spirit, and then we'll move into what's coming. So after the reading, they don't really have to bring anything or say anything. I'm the one that just says pick the cards, and I'm hearing and I'm seeing and I'm sensing.
So when a person comes in for a reading, they're sitting in front of you.
I don't even know their names, because what happens is I have Chris, she's at the front and she's booking people, and she'll just come in and she'll just say this one. So if you've just arrived, I don't know anything about you, and you just come and sit down. I go, hi, right, let's go. Pick 10 cards and off I go and read.
And how quickly is it that you start getting messages come
Straight
through?
away.
So the minute that person's energy or that person enters the room.
Yeah.
And
then
do
I
they
start
go
channeling.
with them, or do some of them hang around? Gary, Stacey's gone now. If you could just bugger off.
Funny enough is if I'm going to do because I do parties,
Yes.
say from tarot parties. So sometimes I was at a gas station once, and I remember that there was this Gerald, and he kept coming and saying, "Hi, I'm Gerald. I'm Gerald," and I was like, "Oh God."
So Gerald wasn't a real person. Gerald was from the
I
other
just
side.
heard it. He was from the other side, and I thought, "Oh, this must be for the person that I'm going to go to the
Party
my
for?
petrol." No, because I'm getting
okay,
petrol
yeah.
because I'm at the petrol station. So when I said, "Oh, hi, do you know a Gerald?" I go, "I don't know a Gerald," and I went, "Does anyone here know a Gerald?" No one knows a Gerald. I was like, "Okay." So I jumped in, I came in. Get to the party, walked straight up and said, "Look, does anyone know a Gerald?" Because he's been travelling with me. He's very excited to get through. And the hostess went, "Yeah, it's my husband. He passed about 3 years ago." So
my
there you go. So
gosh.
that happens a lot. It's very rare that they'll be with me all the way.
Yeah.
But
Gerald just really liked you.
he wanted to hang out.
He was using a woober.
But you know what
Uber.
I have to do? I always get scared when I'm driving. And I think this is one of the reasons why they don't do it, because I always say, please don't show up in the back seat. Because
That would be
if I'm
frightening.
like looking and then I see
Yeah.
something, yeah, and that did happen to me once, and I've said don't do that ever again. So I actually just
Who was in the
there's
back
no-
seat?
I don't know. It was just a shadow, but it freaked me out. I pulled over and I was like, that was it. No,
I remember a book from many, many years, like I'm talking when I was a kid, so millennials ago. It was a ghost book, and because I've always been so fascinated with ghosts and everything else, and they said it's a documented picture of a ghost in the backseat of this car. And it's always been my mental image of like, it was a really old school 1920s kind of car. And in the back you can see, it's almost like it's see-through, but it's the face of an old woman. Yeah. And just sitting there in the back of this car. And that image has stayed with me forever. Yeah. So now I'm thinking it was that old woman in the back of your car. You weren't driving like a 1920s kind of car with a top hat?
No. So that's the whole thing. I always say, no, I don't want to.
So you can control them. You can block them and say, off you trot.
Yeah. So a lot of people go in, say, to shopping centres and they say, I can't come into this shopping centre. There's just so many energies. I just can't do it. And I always say that never happens to me. I always sort of question that because there's a time for me to live my life because I'm here learning lessons as well.
Yep.
You know, I'm a student just as much as I am a teacher. And so for me, it's like, if that's happening, I wouldn't leave my house.
No.
I just wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
You know, so there have to be some boundaries because I have to, But in saying that, you know, like I'll often have dreams and then, you know, they'll be a bit all sort of over the place. And I think we've done some dreams here too, like what does that mean? And sometimes that can be a past life trying to come through. Sometimes it can just be what's going on in your life at the moment that you might need in your subconscious is trying to get through to say, hey, be conscious about this moving forward. And they can be crazy. And you've ever been in dreams where you swear they are normal, but then you wake up and go, it's not normal to walk with spiders.
No, no.
And then turn around and go, hi, Michelle, how you going?
It is interesting, though, with the dreams. That's something we should touch on another episode because there are certain things that mean certain things within dreams.
Yeah.
And when it's reoccurring, that's one thing that people do talk about a lot. All right, well, we've covered you weeing on plants today, parking angels.
Oh, my God. They're all going to go out and cop a squat now.
Oh, well,
we're going to be seeing them and go, hi, Georgia, protecting the home. Are we fantastic?
It's just at night time would be good. Thanks, Georgia.
Throw in some dog bones with that.
Also, so once again as well, if you were interested in a reading, let us know.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Contact you and then also, like you said, go into it so it's a little bit longer than just the ones that we do on the radio show, which are only a couple of minutes long. Thank you very much, Michelle.
It's great to see you. As always, bye, darling.
Woodwork Podcasts.